Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's old Pappy back with another one. And you know what? Sometimes when people come to visit old Pappy, they're coming in for lots of reasons. You know, sometimes they want to hear about what it was like back in the old-fashioned days when old Pappy was a kid growing up on the farm. Sometimes you just want to sit around and hear a good yarn of what it was like back in 2014 when we all ran around in destriers and Cossacks and dreamed of a future where we could just push a module and disappear and magically reappear through walls and all this other craziness that goes on now in the game. Well, today we're going to talk about feelings. Yeah, feelings. You know, Barbra Streisand sang about feelings years ago, and, you know, feelings, more than a feeling. Boston's one of my favorite songs, but, you know, I have some mixed feelings right now when it comes to this new robot, the Leech that you see out here. Now, I've done a lot of testing on it. In a nutshell, if you don't know anything about it, I don't know how you wouldn't, but anyway, it has 4 medium weapons. Has an ability, you push the button and it's called repulse. You leech onto somebody. If somebody shoots you, that damage is redirected onto the guy you're leeching onto. They get 35% damage, and you also get 90% damage resistance. And so you saw I was just leeching onto a dude over there off to the left, and you saw this sort of purple beam come out of my robot, and that's sort of, there it goes right there, bingo bango. This guy on the left is shooting me. It's redirected onto his poor teammate, bingo bango, dead. But the real question is this. You know, I play in Champions League, and it costs millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, and what's higher than millions of silver to max a robot, let alone max it to MK2, level 12. And so the question is it worth it? You know, and I've seen a lot of stuff in the Facebook pages today about people complaining, oh my God, nerf the Leech, it's not fair, it can shoot me through walls and all that kind of junk. And you know what? I thought today I would test out my new Leech, and we would take it out, and I'd run a hangar with Leech, with my ARES, and with my JUN white dragons. And I'm going to see which one really is more powerful, the Leech, the ARES, or the JUN white dragon. And so, getting into this game that you're seeing right here, you're going to see very quickly that while the Leech is powerful, and I'm not saying it's not worth it to get it, don't get me wrong, but what I am saying is that it has some drawbacks. And so in this game, I've kind of worked my way around here to the right-hand side, and I've been trying desperately just to get past this ARES that's hiding behind the column there. And I managed to do it, but look at this. I'm taken down. And it didn't take very long to take me down either, right? In that case, I'm getting the damage. And you know, when I died there, I kind of thought to myself, what the hell? What did I do wrong here? I don't understand. I have 90% damage resistance when I'm using my ability, and everybody should be afraid of me. You know, they're shooting at me, and the resistance should take up all the damage that I'm absorbing, and it should be redirected at my enemy, and it was. But what I quickly am finding out about this robot is that even though it has a tank-like ability, right? It gives that kind of that damage resistance. It's not the same as having an impenetrable shield that nothing can go through. And so right now you're seeing me here with my ARES, my tried and true ARES, and I'm getting hit all over the place with all these dudes when I had my ability on. But none of that damage, not even 10%. Because remember, Leech gives you 90% damage resistance, but that still means 10% is getting through. In other words, every 100 points of health damage you're taking, you're getting 10 affected to each. So if you take 1,000, that's 100. If you get 10,000 damage, that's 1,000. You know, if you get 100,000 damage, that's 10,000. I mean, it adds up, right? And so you're going to have to constantly be, you know, refilling your health, using your modules to refill your health or something if you're going to run that Leech. Whereas when you're running the ARES, you know, until Shieldbreaker, until that new module comes into the game, you're pretty much impenetrable. You know, you can still kind of strut around the battlefield a little bit. And the other thing you can do with an ARES is you can run an ARES train. Now, I don't promote it. I hate ARES trains. In fact, I was in a couple the other day. I honest to God, I've never been in an ARES train before, and I was playing with my clan, and I'm sure they got a pretty good laugh out of this, but everybody was counting down in my headset here, and I was like, 3, 2, 1, and then someone yelled, Pappy, Pappy, and I was like, what the hell, what, man, what, I'm shooting, what am I doing wrong? And then I realized they were waiting for me in succession to hit my ARES retribution. so that everybody in our shield could go across the battlefield and take on the other clan we were fighting. It was pretty funny because I'd never had done it before, and I'm pretty sure I tripped and stumbled my way to last place in that game, and that's fine. But you got to remember that the Leech's ability is not a ticket to invulnerability, if you will. It is not just freedom to do whatever you want whenever you want. Okay, so we're just going to speed up this gameplay a little bit here for you, just because I was chasing this dumb guy in a Loki around, and it got really ridiculous. We all chased him around for at least a minute or two. Last guy in the battlefield, I can understand why he's doing it. I like trolling people too, but anyway, we'll get to the end of this game. Zip, zap, zom, we're all running around like we're in a Charlie Chaplin video here. And how did I do? So I got 1.5 damage. I came first, 5 kills, 1 beacon. Not bad, but you know what? I would say probably most of those kills came from my ARES, didn't they? I mean, you know, my Leech, I got pinned down in that corner there, and I didn't really get much done. So I thought to myself, well, let's try it again. Let's get out on the battlefield. Let's see if we can make this Leech last a little bit longer. And so I'm going to head to center here, and I'm actually looking to engage guys in brawls right now because I want to lure them in and get them to shoot me so I can use my retribution. There you go. I'm going to leech onto this dude, get right up in his face, and dare him to shoot me. But see, he's smart, because how do you counter a Leech? You don't shoot the guy, right? You don't shoot the guy. And so again, it's a funny ability. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying don't get a Leech, and I'm not saying if you have a Leech that you're doomed and that it's not any good. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that it's a funny ability that relies on you and your ability to almost fool your enemy into getting into a brawl with you, and then hoping that your enemy doesn't know much about a Leech and will continue shooting you, right? Because if they stop shooting you, if nobody shoots you, your ability does nothing. I mean, you get the 90% damage resistance, but you don't get any of that redirect damage, right? And so it's very different than the ARES. The ARES, the ability protects you and your teammates and gives you an extra 4 weapons at the tail end of your ability. Those extra 4 laser weapons kick in, and bingo, for a few seconds you have 8 weapons that you can bring to bear to anybody on the battlefield. That is very different than an ability that only works for you and gives you lots of protection, but not total protection. And so there you go. Look, you saw the battle play there, and yet again, I did a little bit of damage. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be some sort of super beast, right? Something that everybody was so scared. Oh my God, the Leech is hitting the live server. We're all gonna run and hide or whatever. Call 911 or something. But it's not turning out to be like that. And so let's just check out my JUN. Now, I always run embers on them because they're so powerful. And let's just see how I can do. Now, again, what are the advantages of the White Dragon over the Leech? Well, number one is speed, right? I got some pilot skills that speed me up and a few other things on here. But it is a fast robot, and I already have a rampage. No, I just walked into a booby trap here, and look at these guys are shooting me. Oh my God, I'm even going to die because of a Leo. This is craziness, man. But anyway, I'm going to be taken down, but I got a rampage out of it. And the thing about the White Dragon is that it gives you mobility, it gives you firepower with that built-in ember. In addition, I run with 2 embers, but some people run 2 Avengers, and some people will run, anything works. Calamity works, Vipers work, the Glory, the shotguns work. They all work. It's by far one of the best robots in the game. And the thing I love about it is that you can close distance so fast, right? Like you literally just start flying towards guys before. A lot of times I'll come right up on an ARES and I'm coming at them so fast they must be panicking and they don't even have time to push their button until they're half dead, right? Until they hit their shield, and then all you need to do is zoom back out and back away to safety. So the question becomes, if Leech doesn't replace ARES and it doesn't replace the White Dragon, what does it replace? And one of the things I'm wondering is maybe it's not a brawler per se. I mean, I have it equipped with shotguns here, and I feel kind of dumb because I got the pilot skills for the shot grouping and for the increased damage on my Coronas. And again, I love them and I love shotguns, but I wonder if it would work better with Scourge. If you stayed back 500-ish meters outside of the range of the ARES Retribution ability, right? You kind of hover around that 500 to 600 meter range until the shield drops. Then you can run forward and do some damage if you want to. And maybe if you were that far back, maybe you could sucker people into shooting you, or maybe some of their teammates would start shooting you, right? I mean, at a distance, I play on a phone, and I know sometimes it's really hard to see who you're playing against, right? It's really hard to tell who's who and what's what out there. So I may, in future videos, I might put a Scourge on it and see what it can do. Like maybe I am not running it properly. I'm not sure. But I would be curious to know what comments you guys would have. When you see this gameplay. I mean, obviously, I'm not the greatest player in the world, but I mash the buttons like everybody else and hope for the best. But in these games, my ARES and my White Dragons outperformed Leech. Maybe somebody else out there can show me what I'm doing wrong. If you can, hit me up in the comments button there. Let me know what's going on, and help me understand what I'm missing about the robot. Because right now, what I'm saying is that this would be a nice third bot in a hangar. If you're one of those guys or gals that doesn't want to run all ARES, or you think that running an entire hangar of the same robot is boring, certainly Leech would be a great addition to your hangar. One of the things I'm seeing out there already, people are talking about maybe ARES trains coupling with a Leech. So maybe they put the Leech in front, behind, at the cusp of the shield, and then it leeches onto an enemy, and as the ARES train and Leeches head towards center or whatever together, the return fire, everybody starts to panic on the red team, and they'll start shooting the Leech, and maybe that Leech will redirect some of the damage back onto the enemies. So I'm sure that there's lots of creative ways that people are going to be able to figure this out, and next thing you know, we'll be seeing hordes of Leeches in the battlefield here, and I'll be eating my words, I'm sure. But you know what? That's sort of the joy and the beauty of the game, isn't it? That it always changes. There's always something new, a new OP robot, something crazy that everybody wants to see nerfed, or they're all crying and looking for a sponsorship from Kleenex. But the game is what it is, and it changes, and we got to change with it. And so, it's up to you guys to decide what you want to do. Do you want to keep the Leech? Do you want to add it to your hangar? Do you want to do something else? Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. If you liked what you saw, please click the subscribe button and the like, and share it with your friends. And until next time, I'll see you on the battlefield.